Okay, I'm going with her flow. Okay, and it seems like Emily really wants to be a part of the show. Ow. Um, she's not playing fair with me. Okay, we share a room, yes. My home studio is in her room, and yes, it originally was her room. Okay, so she just had to slap me. What the hell was that about? God. Anyway, so if something in the set falls down, Emily did it. Yeah. No, she's a really cool cat, and I dig her energy. I dig her vibe. Don't look at me that way. She's giving me dirty looks. Okay. So I'm like almost anticipating that she's gonna like claw me in the eye or something crazy like that. But anyway, I'm playing with the spellcasting deck tonight, so it's an interesting deck. They're by Flavia Kate Peters and Barbara Meikle-John Free. Like I said, they're a very interesting deck. Um, they're real colorful. I like them. They're a little bit different than a lot of the other decks that I used. I actually did a reading for someone. I know usually Tuesdays are my virtual days, but this one client came from out of town, and we did a reading on this, and it was like actually really pretty intense and in-depth. So I was really kind of, I'm going to say blown away by that, because a lot of times it takes a while for me like to really get to know the vibration of a deck when I'm playing with a deck. And these were really pretty intense. Now the deck themselves, I normally will tell people, oh, like, look at the book one time and then put the book off to the side. But what's really kind of cool about this particular deck, please don't get me, cat. Okay, I don't think she's going to get me. Is that it will have, for those of you that practice magic, it'll have a magical guidance for you. It'll have a spell incantation for you, and it'll have some magical meanings that are that you can meditate on or work with, or to carry on the vibration of that card. So for those that are kind of needing that kind of discipline or that kind of guidance, this is a really cool deck to use, as well as with the little book. Now me, I normally might look at the book one or two times and put it off to the side, unless I'm getting, like, if I keep getting the same card over and over and over again, even though I'm reading for somebody else and that card keeps showing up and everybody's reading that day, I start looking at the fact, well, maybe I need to get the book out and see what the book says about that card, because maybe that message was a sidebar from Spirit, going, honey, this is what you need to work on. And it just takes me doing, 5 or 6 readings, and that same card comes up if I'm using the same deck. So it kind of depends. But it's the spell casting deck, I said, is really kind of a cool deck. Hey, when are you going to come see me again? Or when are we going to get together and do something groovy? I like doing groovy things. We can always go, well, right now it's a little chilly. When it warms up on a day, we can go do a walk. Do something cool. I've got some kind of cool classes coming up that are a little bit different than what we've done before, so I'm looking forward to doing that. I'm really into the artsy craftsy stuff right now, so kind of expect some classes or workshops or get-togethers or parties, or I don't know what you want to call it, stuff kind of being creative. But anyway, so we're playing with a spellcaster. Has anybody got a question? You know, because I'm kind of like, I just finished a reading. What's the theme for 2021? We can go, what's the global theme for 2021? Oops. I almost thought something had dropped. Okay, alright. No. I'm like, I just want one card. We just want the... Okay, that one kind of went in half. Oh. Alright, so interesting. Okay. You want to look at the global theme? Okay. I'm like, God, I hope this isn't... Come on. Alright, there we go. Maybe. There we go. Okay, I'm like looking at this card, and it's the Dreams card. And again, it's not as whimsical as the Mystic Afternoons, but and don't punch me in the arm, but this card's kind of dreamy. One thing that I'm noticing here is that this is kind of like a moon-shaped or a circle-shaped. Okay, so we're talking about things coming into completion or going through a cycle. And then if you kind of look at the shadowing, this almost looks like one of those yin-yangs, meaning balance. Meaning balance. That almost looks like a sword coming down, but I guess it's more a part of the window frame in through there. But I'm getting like this balance in through here, and it's just very airy. The color, I don't know if you see the same coloring that I do right through here. There's a lot of purple, and then the iridescent. So we're looking at things in the creation, dreaming, putting together. It's kind of like I have a dream, and you start utilizing energy in order to put that dream into an actuality. So this 2021, because that was I said, hey, what's the kind of goal or whatever for 2021? And it talks a lot about dreams and their being in balance. And I'm just getting a vibe in there about implementing them. Dreams coming into, I guess, a sense of cycle or season. That's kind of a groovy card. I like that card. Let's put that one off to the side because we don't want to pull it again, right? Not that it was a negative card, because it's a really good card. But, I don't know. A lot of strange things going on around the world. People are really kind of opening their eyes and seeing things in different perspectives, which I kind of think that was the whole gist of the vibration of Saturn and Jupiter, kind of having that brief kiss there for a moment. Bringing in a new era, a new age, a new thought, a new perspective, flipping the switch. That was a lot of that really cool, intense energy with that. So it's really, when you think for your personal self, it's how you choose to connect in with that energy will depend a lot on where you go and what you do and achieve in 2021. Has anybody written their New Year's resolutions? I hate those things. I don't even write them anymore. I just, I'm kind of like, what would I like to achieve in this year? That's how I kind of look at it. I like that little 12 rules of engagement. That was it, 12 things about self-care. And I was like, I think that in 2020, we learned a little bit about being, in a sense, self-sufficient, as in our energy or our vibration. And then in 2021, it's that opportunity to take everything that we've learned and implement it to do good things. I was like, she's not very talkative. I was really kind of hoping that she'd be a little bit more talkative. Anybody got a question? Let's look at finance. Let's look at the financial forecast. I guess I need to add that one back in. Hold on. Because I'm going on a different aspect. So let's look at the financial forecast for us in 2021. Normally you use the Angels of Abundance card for financial forecast, but I know a lot of folks are kind of preoccupied with that, a little worried. You know, social media and the news kind of feed us a lot of BS. And I'm talking about on both sides, not just one side, it's both sides. And they get our energies all worked up and we start having a tweaked out, distorted perception. So as much as it pains me to say, sometimes we need to turn off our social media, but sometimes we need to turn off our social media. Those people can be really Fruit Loopy. And then make us feel Fruit Loopy. And then we go around feeling Fruit Loopy. Doopy, fruity, loopy, doopy. And that's just not a cool vibration. Been there, done that. And was like, I have a great level of intuition and I can pretty much read through things and get the gist of what I need to without having to get so deep into it. And that was one thing that I think social media opens up some doors, especially for people that are intuitives, and it really, we start seeing things that we really, we really didn't need to see that. We got the gist of the story, just from hearing it. And then we get all enmeshed in crazy energy. Okay, there we go. All right, so they kicked us out 3. I like 3 because those are pretty easy to read. Oh, you guys are going to laugh. Okay, you guys are going to laugh. Okay, you ready to laugh with me? Because guess what the first card is? I put that son of a gun back, okay? All right, so here we go again. We were the financial forecast. And remember, we were looking at this card earlier. I'm talking, about the gist of it, the vibe of it was about taking our dreams and getting them into action, making them come to a fruition because they're now in a sense of balance and in season. And so, we shuffle, we put it back in there, and we're shuffling, and we're asking, hey, Amber, asking about what's the financial forecast, and what do we get? We get dreams, and I'm getting the very same kind of vibration. It's a time of manifesting, putting your dreams into the physical realm, taking them out of taking them from blueprint to the end product. So that financial forecast is talking about you taking your creative energies, your creative force, the things, those like your business ideas, I call them side gigs, your side gigs, and start working them and getting them to a point or to a place that you feel comfortable about manifesting or creating them and being through there. Okay, now this is really interesting because boundaries, we are the dreamers, very true. Okay, so does everybody know who Dave Ramsey is? Dave Ramsey, financial peace, financial freedom. He was the guy that was like $1 zillion. I don't think it was $1 zillion, but he was several $100,000 in debt, and then he and his wife got their act together and they paid off all of their debt in X amount of years, and now they live debt free. Okay, boundaries. This is what we're talking about. You know who I'm talking about, Patricia. When we're looking at boundaries, we're looking at budget. We're looking at putting when I say restriction, it's not a negative restriction. It's saying, yes, you have a limit on what you can spend. Yes, you have a limit on what you can invest. Yes, you have a limit on how much of self you can put into it. You have to have, and I'm getting this thing, you guys got to take a day of rest. If you're trying to work your side gig, you cannot do your day gig and then try to do your side gig 7 days a week. I'm only doing it 2 hours a day. Well, trust me, you're doing it more than 2 hours a day. And you're investing a lot of your energy unwisely into it. So you're going to put a lot of work into it that you really don't want to put into it. Because it's, and I'm going to call it wasted energy. So don't waste your energy. So when we're looking at this, and it's talking again, remember dreams. So this is about taking your side gigs, your ideas. Let's say it's not even your side gig. Let's say you've been working in a business. Maybe you're, I just keep seeing something kind of like not a receptionist, but like an administrative assistant. And you've been working in the office as an administrative assistant. And then you have this little wild hair to go out there and do some work on the a more creative line, and something a little bit more creative where you're working with your hands, creating, being a part of something. And I'm getting a part of something very beautiful. I smell furniture, so I don't know. So whoever's working in the administrative that wants to do something with furniture or design, yeah, it's a groovy time to do that. Invest wisely, have your boundaries, and that's what this card is talking about. Have your financial peace, keep your money in alignment, keep your energy, your own self energy in alignment. You can see she is in total alignment. 1, 2, and 3. So we're talking about her earth, her heaven, her heart, and her heaven. She has her 3 diamonds all in alignment. She's keeping it together. Her eyes are wide open. So she is seeing things. I love the fact that she looks like she's in Gosso. So she's got her hands together in that gratitude. So this is what this card is talking about. That in your financial, when we're looking at financial forecast, it's a great time for you to start implementing your dreams. But you need to make sure that you've got your financial boundaries in place. It's really important for your success. It's very important for your success to have your, and I'm going to use this word, have your budget in alignment, know exactly what it is, and stick with your budget. It's really important to do that for your success. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. And then our end result is spirit guide, okay? And it's really kind of funny. Because on one side, the eyes are opened, and then on the other side, the eyes are closed. But in between, we have a really intense bright light. So this has a lot to do with trusting your instinct. I'm not talking about your gut instinct, because I'm talking about this instinct, your third eye, your mind's eye, what comes to here. And I'm going to say it like this. Our root area is very primitive. It's very primitive. It thinks about safety and security. And then if you're looking up at sacral, then we're thinking about population, copulation and population. Okay, so this is very primitive down here. It's about safety, security. Do I have, food hopefully going in my mouth? Do I have covering over my head? If I, do I need clothing? That kind of stuff. That's what we're looking at when we look at the earth part, is the needs, our physical need to feel safety. And then up in here, we're looking at things in a much more abstract way. And so when we look at this spirit guide, you'll notice that the lower chakras or the lower centers, the eyes are closed. So we're really not putting a lot of focus in are your physical needs are being met, because the assumption, and that's what it is. And I know, I hear some of you going, assumption is that, you know what, and isn't that like making an ass out of you and me? And I'm like, yeah, I know, the gumption of assumption. I get it. But when I look at this card, the assumption is that that's all in balance right here, that you're in a good place. But use your logical thought in the process. Don't worry about the safety and the security part. Source has that covered. What the focus in this particular card, and it's the third card of it's the third card of the reading, and let's look at it again, is about you focusing on intellect, on wisdom, on knowledge, on what you're getting in that mind's eye, what you're getting up here in cognitive thought. I'm supposed to remind you of this. Remember what Sigmund Freud says. Okay, Carl Jung says we're all intuitive. And Sigmund Freud says always trust your first instinct, because that's the truth. Sigmund Freud said trust your first instinct. It's Mara's version of it, okay? But trust your first instinct, because that's your truth. So it's like even when you're taking a test, if you're in school and you're taking a test and you look at and you read the question and you've read the question and you look at it and you're getting this one word that comes up to your head, or that answer, and you write that down. And then you answer another 50 questions or whatever, and you're like, well, maybe, I'm kind of confused. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. You might go in there and kind of not mess it around, but kind of go back and change that answer, and then you find out that the original answer was the correct answer. Okay. That comes from up in here. It doesn't come from your root. That comes from up here in your sky or your heaven center. And in that mind's eye, that cognitive thought that puts that information or that knowledge and allows you to apply it where it becomes wisdom. That's what this card is talking about. So in our financial forecast, this is about putting what your dreams are. It doesn't have, and I was just told, it doesn't have to be about a side gig. It can be about buying a house. It can be about buying a car. It is about investing into something that is symbolic or representative of you and your vibe. It's investing in that. And it's saying again about minding your boundaries and keeping within your budget. Knowing where your money is and where it's going is very important, especially in this first quarter of 2021. And then at the very end, don't worry. Your safety and security is taken care of. The focus is on what you've got going on up in here, and what messages are you picking up, or what's the information, what's the knowledge base that you have on that. So it's about not responding to gut, but responding to, and I keep seeing like Leonard Nimoy doing this, like logical thought. And I'm like, dude. And he's like, yes, logical thought. Down here, we're going to be anxious and panicky about stuff. Up in here, hopefully we'll have logical thought and put a perspective, especially if we're following with our boundaries. That's the biggest thing right there I'm getting, is that you can't just go into it my word is willy-nilly into whatever this, and your finances. You can't go willy-nilly into your finances. You have to have a really strict, sacred routine, and slash budget, and follow that. And I'm going to use the word religiously. Please don't shoot the messenger, because that's the way it comes through. As you got to follow it religiously, which means that you do it on a daily basis. Be really mindful of your business money, things that you invest in. Okay, anybody got a question? Anybody? No questions? Come on. Does he love me? Yes, he does. Everybody's love. Everybody needs to take a deep breath and just love for a moment. Okay. I'm hoping like this card will spit out. Hey, let's go. Okay. Alright, so. Alright, show me or show us the best piece of advice to begin 2021. And please don't be that dreams card. We've already seen it. And what we'll do with that card is we'll sneak a peek. And well, I'll tell you my interpretation. You can throw in your interpretation too. And then we'll take a sneak peek into the book, and we'll just see what the book says. Because I really want to look at the magical aspect of it and what they've written into it. And of course, are we getting a card? Heck no. It's like, no, we don't want to be showcased. We're not a freak show. I know you're not a freak show, spell casting cards, but come on. We're doing a meet and greet. We're meeting new people. We're seeing old friends. And you're over here, you're disappointing me. No, it's not really disappointing me. I'm like guilt tripping it, and it's not working. Oh man, I almost thought it did. Okay, so I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Oh, look at that. We got a card. They did. Okay. Ooh, okay. Alright, so this kind of fits in with what we've been talking about. Okay. So this is what's our one piece of advice from Creator Source, whatever you want to call it today. Big Daddy, Little Mama. Okay, and it's the manifestation. You like my backdrop? I painted that. But this is the manifestation card. Okay, so, and I'm looking at, and this still has to do with creation. It's about putting your dreams into play, your ideas, your thoughts. If you've written a business plan and you've been sitting on that business plan, this is your year to do it. If you've been wanting to move out to the country and do your homestead, darn it, this is the year to do it. Alright, so that's my interpretation. That's the vibe I get here. And so the book, and it is, okay, the spellcasting book, okay. Alright, so hey, that's the same ding-dang card, isn't it? Alright, so let's see what she says here. And let's bring that up so you can see that a little better. She says, the alchemist within urges you to reawaken your powerful manifestation abilities. Demonstrating a strong will and focus will drive your desires into fruition. Dang it, she used my word. With a little help, magical help, of course. As you step back into alignment through spell work, invocation, and acknowledging both aspects of your light and shadow self, you become testimony to the wise ones who walked before you. The universe is poised to support you as it reflects your positive intentions. So go and grab your dreams. Reach for your goals as the magical energy surges through you. Everything is yours for the taking and will continue to be so as you add your own magical touch. So that's pretty ding dang cool. Okay, pretty ding dang cool. Okay, so here's your spell or your works or your etchel, whatever you want to call it. And it says, and it doesn't say what kind, it just says take them, take them. Take a handful of seeds on a Thursday at sunrise during a full moon phase and say, early to rise to greet the morn, wishes made upon the dawn, goals, desires place in seed, one for each and every need. Nurture growth until it's noon, giving thanks to sun and moon. Magic strong now to create all I wish to generate. Then you throw the seeds into, and you sow them into the earth at noon and say, gratefully I accept the magic of you, of protection to assist in all that I do. Lend me the courage, build power in me, assist my transcendence, so mote it be. Pretty groovy. I can, so if anybody wants that, just send me a message, and I will, take a picture of it and send it to you. I might just go ahead and, take a picture when I'm off the phone, off of this, and have it, so if anybody wants it. And then here's some magical meanings with this, okay? And this is very important to listen to because I totally agree. Be careful what you wish for. Be careful of what you wish for, because if you're very, very vague, you get very vague response. If you're very detailed, you will get closer to what you're looking for, but be very careful about what you wish for. I mean, it's kind of like you could sit there and go, I wish for a man to love me. And then you get a man with no teeth, okay? So you've got to be very specific. And y'all are going, what if I'm looking for a chick, okay? Same thing. You have to be very specific in what you ask for, or you will get that man that loves you, but he's going to have something that you're not going to feel groovy about, or she's going to have something that you're not copacetic with. Okay, so be very specific when you write, when you wish for things, or you send out those meaning, or you send out those kind of requests. Focus only on a positive outcome. Do not give your energy to negative shish. Not cool. Not good. Very bad to do to your body, your mind, and your spirit. You got to focus on the good stuff. It's just like, and I'm going to say it just like this. You get diagnosed with something, and it has a potential to be a terminal illness, and you focus on the aspect of terminal illness, that is where your ass is going to go. And I'm sorry to say it like that, but I'm really serious. It's when I was a nurse, and I would take, and let's pretend this is like a medication I'm going to give my patient. I would take the medication and I would put it in my hand, and I would put into that vibe exactly what that medication was supposed to do. So if I was giving them insulin to bring down their sugar level to a normal level, their glucose, that's what I'm going to put into that. I'm not going to focus on, and if this doesn't work, no, because this is going to work. You have to put your intention in with the belief that it has a positive outcome through there. Your goals are coming into being when you start focusing on what your end result is. That house, the homestead, the groovy job, working from home, if that's what you want to do. You know, having a number one sales record for your company. Whatever your goal is, focus on that end result and put that end result in through there. When you start vibing high, wonderful surprises await. And I'm like, I am not kidding you when I say that. It's like when I focus on negative crap, that's what I bring in. And then the surprises I get are not wonderful. They're negative. They're like flat tires. They're like, your engine throwing a rod. God forbid. Do engines still throw rods? A leak in the roof, something crazy like that. So this is about taking your vibration and focusing it on the beautiful, groovy things that you have and that you are building towards. And that's what they're saying here. And when you start focusing in that, you'll notice that lots of cool things, synchronicities, serendipities start to occur, and that wonderful surprise awaits. And then the very last one on here is have patience. Your needs are always met. Have patience. Your needs are always met. So, groovy things coming up through with our financial aspect. We're looking, the beginning of 2021. Chance always favors a prepared mind. And remember, Dave Ramsey, shows up when we're looking at the financial aspect. And it was about boundaries. And I'm like, there's Dave Ramsey. Oh, damn it. It's about putting boundaries and having a game plan. That's really the gist of that one, is having that game plan. And then in here, what's the vibe? What's the piece of advice? Manifest, create, put the word out. If you want to be known as the best ding dang cake baker, personal cake baker, in your community, you have to start putting that word out. If you want to move out to that homestead, you've got to start looking at a homestead. You got to start thinking about that homestead. If you're looking about buying a house, anything that you're doing, anything that you want to create to be an expression or an extension of you, now is the time. And it's also a good idea to get that manifesting and create that vibe that you want to send out. So when I get off, I'm going to take a picture of it and I'll post it back up. Hopefully it'll show up decently. I'm hoping that it will, or I might have to do like 2 pictures. It's Tuesday. So go grab some seeds so that Tuesday morning at sunrise, because we're in a full moon phase. Okay, it's like 2 days off the full moon. Say early rise to greet the morn. Wishes made upon the dawn. Goals desire place in seed, one for each and every need. Nurture growth until it's noon, giving thanks to sun and moon. Magic strong now to create all I wish to generate. I like this because it's not messing with anybody's free will. Not saying that I'm like, out there practicing magic, because I really just practice good living is what I try to do. I mean, I had to learn how to do that. But this is, to me is very much about you putting your focus into, I'm going to call it flowery language. So then at noon, you throw and sow the seeds into the earth at noon, and you say, gratefully I accept the magic of you, of protection to assist in all that I do. Lend me the courage, build power in me, assist my transcendence. And I love that, so mote be. So, felt like I just read everybody a good night story. So, I am actually going to say good night because I have no idea what time it is. There's not a... Oh, wait. I have a watch on. I forgot. Okay, so it's like 9:30. Okay, so it's time for this girl to go to bed because I have an early rise so that we can get the breakfast show on tomorrow. It is our last show of 2020, and so it's going to be kind of different. Well, yeah, okay. So peace, love, and harmony. I hope to see you guys in the morning. If you're able to watch the breakfast show, that would be groovy. If not, catch it on. I want to say catch it on the rerun, but just like you just go back and watch it. Yeah. So have a great evening. Thanks for coming by, and don't you love the wall hanging? Katalks put it up for me. He loves me.